What's up, Jet fans? I just finished watching Week 4, Jets at Dolphins, Monday Night Football, so the entire country was watching, or I suppose half the country, since we have two Monday Night Football games now. And I don't know, just another loss. I want to say brutal loss, but compared to some of the other losses we've suffered, this one's not that brutal, honestly. Just real quick, their record is now 0-4, which is what I predicted. And the big stories going into this game where both of these teams didn't have a win yet, Jets and Dolphins. The Jets, Mike McDaniel, he was on the hot seat since he's been in Miami for a few years. And for the Jets, Justin Fields was returning. And yeah, I think once again, this is one of the games where the score is kind of deceiving. Like last game, I don't think that really says what was happening. I think the Dolphins were in control for most of the game. But it's not like we got it close in garbage time per se. We closed things up and we made it a game. For the last play, we had a chance to win it, but we'd have to go like 98 yards. So it wasn't going to happen, but not a terrible game. But the thing is that this is a really bad team. The Dolphins, their record is 1-3. I'm higher on the Dolphins than most are, but if you just look at their record and their numbers, this is not a good team. And we played a competitive game against a pretty bad team. So what does that say about us, right? Offensive wise, I mean, if you look at these numbers, these are solid numbers, right? These aren't terrible numbers. Justin Fields over 200 yards and a touchdown. Breece Hall and Justin Fields were really running all over them. And then the other two running backs were, for a third and fourth string running back, they were doing fine. Garrett Wilson had a really good game and an incredible touchdown catch. Mason Taylor's getting involved. Breece Hall's getting involved in the passing game. So these numbers aren't really bad, but we just had a bunch of costly turnovers and costly penalties as well, which is a thing I've talked about earlier. Aaron Glenn was supposed to address and it really hasn't. Right, but on paper the numbers look good. And we did score 21 points, so it's not like we did that bad per se. It's really our defense, I think, which was letting us up. Devon Achane ran for basically 100 yards and a touchdown, as well as getting involved in the receiving game. Well, actually, not really. But the other receivers were doing well. Tyreek Hill got really injured this game. That was like a bad play to watch. But Jalen Waddle, they're deep in receivers, and then they got Darren Waller, who hasn't played for 2 years, and comes in and does really well. So that's hard to see. Tua had a decent game, but they really had a good run game, and our defense just let up a bunch of penalties, and they didn't play as well as you would hope from a defensive coordinator. It's been the story all season, so I don't want to harp on it too much. It's late. I'm tired. This game definitely didn't excite me enough to keep me awake. So yeah, just another same old story, right? But it's against worse and worse opponents, I suppose, which is maybe the problem. Yeah, Aaron Glenn, I don't know what he's fixed, right? This was a more competitive game than the other games he played, other than the Steeler one, but it was against a worse team than the other games he played, and we'll see what happens. I think Mike McDaniel saved himself, hit at least for another week, but Aaron Glenn, if this was not his first year, this would be, I think this would have been the game that would have fired him, because you just lost to a division rival on Monday Night Football in front of the entire country, against a team with no wins. So that's just really not good. We get to play the Cowboys next. I've always been higher on them than fans were. I thought they are a pretty good team, and they just tied with the Packers, which are a Super Bowl favorite team. So they're a good team. The Broncos right now are killing the Bengals, so we'll see what happens there. But we could get 0-6 until we play the Panthers and hopefully win that game. I don't know if I'm ready for that, honestly. The Broncos game is in London, which makes things weird, a little weird. So maybe we can win that game, or we can have a crazy win against the Cowboys. But I'm predicting, and I predicted at least an 0-6 start, which is a tough thing. Or actually, maybe I predicted we'd beat the Broncos, but they do seem to be, I don't know, a good team. If I had to re-predict it, I would say that we'd lose to the Broncos. But anyways, I'm clearly tired in this video, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Right, we are one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. That's the reality. I think the Titans and the Saints also are 0-4, so it's us three. And the Titans maybe have a more optimistic future because they have their first overall pick quarterback. So they're probably excited about him, but we do not have that. So another brutal game, and I think we're gonna go 0-6 if I had to re-predict it, and that would be pretty bad. And like I said, if Aaron Glenn wasn't a rookie head coach, he would be fired by now. Because what did he focus on? He wanted to focus on penalties. We're committing a bunch of penalties. Right, the punt returner did a fair catch in like the 5-yard line. That's just a stupid, dumb mistake that coaches are supposed to fix. Also, well, he wasn't supposed to be our punt returner. Aaron Glenn cut our punt returner because he had a really good game, except for he fumbled and cost us the Steelers game, even though like 10 plays cost us the Steelers game. That's the play that they cut our actual punt returner. So, if you're going to blame someone, that's a blame. That's a thing to blame right there. And just one more final thought. I think the officiating in this game was terrible, but I really can't say that that's what cost us the game. Even though the score was close, we were within 6 points. I don't think the officiating cost us the game. I think we just played worse and we had a bunch of stupid plays. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm tired. You guys let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.